He didn't say a word, but everyone in that room turned to look. No, it wasn't what he was wearing. It wasn't his haircut, his money, or even his voice because he hadn't spoken yet. It was something deeper, something primal. An invisible signal that reached people's subconscious before their minds could catch up. That man walked in, and the energy in the room shifted. He didn't try to dominate. He didn't even seek attention, but he had presence. That is the power of body language when it's understood, not memorized, and used not to manipulate, but to master self-awareness. The truth is, 99% of men never pay attention to what their body is silently screaming, but the 1% who do. They influence without trying. They win trust faster. They command respect without forcing it, and in rooms full of louder, flashier, more anxious people, they often win quietly. You might think body language is about crossing your arms or holding eye contact for exactly 7 seconds. You've probably seen lists like stand up straight or don't fidget. But real mastery lies far beyond robotic tricks. The kind of body language that silently shapes your reality doesn't come from a checklist, it comes from rewiring how you feel so that your body stops betraying you. Because here's the raw truth, your body tells your story before you do. It reveals your fears before you speak, it leaks your confidence before you open your mouth. Every twitch, blink, slouch, or breath is a message. And if you don't learn to read and rewrite those messages, your body will keep replaying the same unconscious habits that cost you opportunities, respect, and connection. Let's start with something that most men overlook, the way you walk into a room. It's not just posture, it's not just the speed of your steps. It's the sequence your body follows. First your core leads, then your head, then your eyes. When your center of gravity is forward, you're perceived as intentional. When your chest is tight and your head leans first, you appear hesitant, even submissive. Incredibly, studies in nonverbal dominance show that just shifting the lead point of your body by a few inches changes how people perceive your authority. The 1% know this instinctively. They lead with their core. Their walk doesn't beg for attention, it creates anticipation. And when they sit down, watch their stillness. Nervous men fidget. They bounce knees, adjust sleeves, tap fingers. It is an evolutionary signal of uncertainty, a signal that others pick up on even if they don't know why. But stillness, calm, patient, slow movement signals confidence, control, and comfort. The body speaks two languages, one of urgency and one of command. And only one gets listened to. Now look closer at their gaze. Most men confuse strong eye contact with staring. But powerful eye contact is not about pressure, it's about rhythm. It's a dance between contact and release. The 1% make you feel seen, not scanned. Their gaze rests, holds, and releases at just the right pace. They blink less, not to intimidate, but because they're relaxed. In fact, neuroscience reveals that relaxed blinking correlates with dominance in social hierarchies, while excessive blinking is a marker of insecurity. But the real mastery comes not just in what they do, but in what they don't resist. Most men tighten their shoulders or clench their jaws during stress and don't even realize it. But those unconscious tensions broadcast fear. The elite 1% scan their own tension like internal sentinels. They notice tight traps, they breathe deeply into the belly. They let the jaw relax because the nervous system speaks through muscle tone, and people subconsciously read that language like a map of emotional status. Even more fascinating is how they use their hands. In most conversations, nervous men hide their hands crossed, arms, hands in pockets, behind the back. But the 1% understand a primal truth. Open palms signal openness. Spread fingers signal alertness. Slow, deliberate hand gestures, especially at chest level, anchor trust. It's not just psychological. fMRI studies show that when we see open hands, our brains are more likely to engage the prefrontal cortex, which governs rational trust, rather than the amygdala, which triggers fear. So yes, your hands are a gateway into someone's subconscious reaction to you. But perhaps the most invisible and powerful hack is how they manage space. Personal space isn't just about how close you stand. It's about how comfortable you are taking up the space you already occupy. The 1% expand not physically, but energetically. They don't collapse inward, they don't shrink. They let their breath fill their chest, they allow their arms to move freely. Their gestures match the size of the room. When they speak, their presence expands just enough to match the social moment, but never to overpower it, and that's the real trick. Confidence isn't loud, it's expansive. Yet all of this would be manipulation if it wasn't authentic. And that's the final, most important secret. These men don't perform body language, they live it. Because their inner world matches their outer signals. They aren't pretending to be calm, they've trained themselves to be calm. They aren't mimicking leaders, they've embodied leadership. Their body language doesn't dominate, it harmonizes. That's why the room turns when they enter. It's why people stop to listen even before they speak. And it's why they win rooms not through volume or force, but through resonance. But here's the twist you didn't expect. None of this starts with body language. It starts with emotional regulation, with self-awareness, with how you treat yourself when you're alone. If your body is always in fight or flight mode, your signals will always betray you. Your eyes will dart, your breath will shorten, your posture will collapse. No matter how many tricks you memorize, your body won't lie. It can't. The elite men, the 1%, spend more time training their nervous system than their social skills. They master breath, they meditate, they reflect. They question their reactions, because the body only reflects what the mind rehearses. A calm mind equals calm movements, a grounded man equals grounded signals. You want powerful body language? Start by mastering your state. Because here's what's really going on when a man walks into a room and silently commands respect. He's not just controlling his body. He's controlling how you feel in his presence. His groundedness makes you feel safe. His calm pace slows your own pulse. His stillness invites you to stop rushing. His openness gives you permission to lower your own defenses. You don't admire him because he is better, you relax around him because he is whole. And in a world of anxious energy, the man who is whole wins. It's not charisma, it's not alpha behavior. It's coherence, alignment, subtle energy that shifts the room not by force, but by frequency. So now the real question, how do you start? Not by memorizing these 7 hacks, but by feeling them, practicing them, embodying them one by one until they aren't hacks at all, they're habits. Start by walking slower, let your core lead. Breathe into your belly when you're alone. Watch your fidgeting not to judge, but to understand. Feel the difference between rushed gestures and smooth ones. Practice relaxing your face when no one is watching. Make eye contact in the mirror not to stare, but to connect. And slowly, day by day, teach your nervous system how it feels to be still, centered, and open. Because when your body learns that feeling, it will replay it automatically without effort, without performance. And then one day, you'll walk into a room and feel the air shift. Not because you said anything, not because you tried, but because you become the kind of man whose presence speaks without a word. That's when you'll know you've joined the 1%. Not by pretending, not by performing, but by remembering the truth that's been buried in your body all along. You never needed to dominate the room. You only needed to belong in it with certainty, with stillness, and with the kind of quiet power that moves others without needing to move a muscle. And that, more than any trick or tactic, is how the rarest men win every room they enter.